Welcome to this video that will cover the configuration of the Inteliair Intelligent Control System. If you haven't already viewed our installation film, this can be found on the Inteliair website, www.inteliair.com. Before accessing the configuration portal, turn on the main control unit and allow 2 minutes for the system to initialize. The damper control units, DCUs, should show 2 visible LEDs, one solid red and one flashing red, to indicate the units have power. If a current sensing switch is fitted, one solid red LED will indicate the unit is receiving power. Next, connect to the Inteliair Wi-Fi access point through your network settings. The wireless access password is 1NT3LLA1R. Once connected, open your web browser, we recommend using Google Chrome, and enter the address 10.0.0.1:8080/Inteliair. Before you can log in, you'll be asked to create an administrator password and an installation name. Save before clicking on Login and entering the username administrator and your chosen password. In the main menu, access the Configuration submenu and go to System Setup. Here you'll see various options. A clean cycle means that all damper positions are open and all fans run at maximum capacity. Change the values for startup or standby mode, duration and interval between scheduled cycles that are relevant to your system requirements. If you have a requirement for the fans to continue operating for a period of time after all positions have been switched off, you can enter a time period in the delay before entering standby box. If a fixed speed fan or filtration unit are connected to this system, change these values accordingly. To set whether the primary fan speed is controlled by number of open positions or a pressure sensor reading, change this setting accordingly. To adjust whether the primary fan speed is adjusted proportionally in accordance with the total open duct area or stepwise, change this parameter. Finally, enter the main duct size in either diameter or height and width. Next, go to Device Types. If you have one or more variable speed drives, select your model from the available list and add the ID address of the unit, ensuring this is set between 63 and 83. You can add additional units using the top right-hand button. Once complete, click on Discover Devices. You'll be prompted to confirm this action before the system searches for the available connected devices. You should see the flashing LED on the DCU change to a solid red to indicate the damper control unit has been identified. You may also hear the dampers operate as they move to the default closed position. Once discovery is complete, standby will appear under the Inteliair logo, assuming no switches are in the on position. In the Configuration submenu, go to Device Groups, where you can create groups of dampers which can be operated individually or together. Name the group and select the minimum number of dampers to be working at any given time. If you select more than one, then booster dampers will need to be allocated. You can also select a color to identify the group. Multiple groups can be created using the Add Device Group button. Next, move to the Editor main menu and click on Default Layout. Confirm this action and the screen will display all the available units. Each fan requires confirmation of its size. This is accessed by the small spanner icon on each unit. In the device configuration, if this is the primary fan in the system, check the available box. Next, enter the maximum kilowatt rating of the fan and the minimum and maximum percentage of power required. Each DCU also requires device configuration using the spanner icon. If this group requires more than one damper to be operated at any one time, the appropriate number of boosters will need to be selected by checking the booster value. You can name each device and select its group from the drop-down menu and the damper type. Select the diameter of the damper and the type of switch used to control it. For third-party dampers that aren't circular, you can also add width and height values. In editor mode, you can also customize a diagram to show the unit layout by moving the icons into a logical position and adding the connecting ductwork. To ensure you've configured the system correctly, return to the configuration menu and open the checklist sub-menu. If all the status conditions are green, then initial setup is complete and the system is optimized. To test that all the dampers open and close, go to the Home menu and enter Override. You can determine how long you would like to control the system from your computer terminal to be able to open and close all the dampers. To open a damper in Override, click on the red circle on each damper icon. If the damper opens, the circle will move from red to yellow and eventually green. To close the damper, change the circle back to red. This should be repeated for each damper. If a fault symbol displays, there is a fault with the damper operation. To test the variable speed drive, click on the plus symbol on the fan icon to display and increase the fan speed. Use the minus icon to return to 0. Once complete, exit Override and confirm the action. At this point, you should do a physical check of each damper in the system by operating the manual switch or current sensing switch for each device. For further information on troubleshooting, you can view the next film in this series on our website, www.inteliair.com.